I am not a huge fan of dating apps, but the one app that I have tried that I actually really like and am still on is called Her. Her is a queer dating app, and if this is the first video you're seeing of mine, I'm queer, specifically bisexual. So technically, my sexuality would match with a wide range of dating apps because basically I'm attracted to all different genders. However, all the other dating apps I've tried, I have not liked and sometimes hated. Hinge was the one that I got on, and literally less than 24 hours later, I was like, I am out of here. I hate this. I absolutely hated Hinge. That was the worst for me. And of course, this whole video is just about my experience. So if you have other dating apps that work for you, awesome. If you don't like any dating apps at all, totally fair. But for me, Her feels really kind of warm and homey, which I was not expecting a dating app to feel that way. But I feel very safe, and it makes me actually want to make connections, both romantic and platonic, with folks that I meet off of the app. The one thing that I'm not a huge fan of when it comes to Her is the name, actually. If it sounds like a lesbian dating app specifically, that's because that actually is the way that it started. But since then, it has expanded to encompass the entire queer community. And I kind of wish that they had changed the name with the change of the focus of the app. I started using the app in the beginning of last year, and at the time I was specifically looking for romantic connections, and I met someone off the app that I ended up dating for 4.5 months. And then since then, I have also gone on a few dates that didn't end up turning into anything else. And then today, I actually did my first platonic meetup with someone I met on the app. And it was the best experience ever. They are so cool, and we had such a good connection. And it was also really fun to find someone who treats apps, apps that facilitate connections, whether they're for dates or for meeting friends, the same way that I do, which is that we both actually read the profiles. I am an avid profile reader. I do not swipe on someone unless I've read their entire profile. And if someone doesn't have a lot of information on their profile, I usually won't swipe. That's just how I like to do it. I think that's maybe not very common, is what I'm discovering when it comes to, I guess, dating app culture. It seems like a lot of people are just kind of doing a lot of swiping, and maybe their approach is, oh, that person's cute, swipe. Cute, swipe. But for me, I would rather see, what is this person looking for? How do they describe themselves? I definitely go way beyond just looking at the pictures. And so does my potential new friend that I went on a walk with today. The way they put it is that they're very selective in their swiping. And that was a really fun thing to bond over, because so am I. But yeah, we had a really great time, and I would definitely like to see them again, and I do see the potential for friendship. And yeah, it made me like the app even more, and it made me just want to talk about it on my channel and just kind of share the reasons why I like it. I also thought it might be fun to give a little tour of my profile. That way anyone who has never been in the app before can see what it looks like, and that'll also prompt me to share certain things that I like about the way it's set up. So, got my phone here. Let me start screen recording so that I can share it. So here is my profile. My name, of course, my age. So here are my pictures. I'll just start with those. So we have this first one. I remember feeling very happy in that moment, and it's just kind of a, I don't know, like it just felt like a good representation of like what I look like most of the time. I wear those shorts a lot. I wear that shirt a lot. And I always have that crossbody bag on. This next one is probably my fanciest picture. I wanted to show that, you know, I can look a little elegant when I want to. And then this one, I really like this picture. And, you know, people need to know that I am goofy as fuck. And I feel like this picture really encapsulates that. So I had to put it third. You know, Her has these little prompts for like suggestions of what you should put for each of your pictures, like what kind of picture, because they give you 6 slots for pictures. And I think the very last one is be yourself as the suggested prompt for that picture. But I just couldn't leave it for the end. Like, I just needed to put it closer to the front so people know what they're getting when they meet up with me. Because this is a very accurate representation of my personality. And then this is a picture of me at work with a dog in my scrubs. So just wanted to show, you know, what it looks like when I'm at work. This next one is me at the Ren Fair. I had a blast at the Ren Fair last year. I have plans to go back multiple times this year. And I think this definitely shows my nerdy side. And then this last one is just cute, a little, you know, little playful. And I also had just gotten a haircut. Also, I'm wearing the same shirt. I wear this shirt a lot too. This is my most recent picture that I have as well. So I just kind of added that on at the end there recently. So those are my pictures. I'll go back to the beginning here. I feel kind of embarrassed talking about this. And you know, that is a downside to dating apps, is like, you really do have to kind of sell yourself. You know, it's not the most authentic, or at least the most natural way to meet people. But at the same time, it can be helpful, especially when you're looking for certain kinds of connections and you're having a tough time, you know, just out in the wild. So, you know, pros and cons. And again, for me, this is the app that I feel the most safe using. And it's the only one I use at this point. Could change in the future, but right now, Her is the only app I have any desire to use. So any other connections I make, friend or otherwise, will be just in person in one way or another. I also want to just point out too that I think when you're specifically looking for queer friends, community, and romance or sexual experiences or whatever you're looking for, it's going to be harder to find. There's just going to be less opportunities to meet people and make those connections out and about in the wild, so to speak. So that's one reason why I find this to be really helpful. Yeah, I mean, there's just less of us, and sometimes maybe there are more of us than we think, but not everybody's out. You know, you can't always like tell. You can't just tell someone's queer or not cisgender or whatever just by looking at them. And so, yeah, apps like this are a way to connect. So I really appreciate it for that reason. All right, so moving on. My bio is next. About me. I love sunshine, trees, the ocean, and dogs. When I'm not outside, you can find me working as a vet receptionist with a paw emoji. I do love a good emoji. I am a millennial, what can I say? Always moving, dancing, hiking, or playing soccer. Puns are my love language. Sunflowers are my favorite. Sunflower emoji. Single parent going through a divorce. I don't have much time to date currently, but I'll be back on here when I do, with a heart emoji, the 2 hearts. And then after that, it has the basics. So I'll just read all of my little basics here for you. Woman, non-binary, genderqueer, bisexual, queer, pansexual. And also, just to pause here for a second, I really appreciate how Her allows you to choose more than one label for yourself. For someone like me, whose gender is like a little wibbly wobbly, I didn't make that up. I heard that from someone. I think I might have seen it on TikTok at some point.
When you're like ultra femme, but your gender feels a little wibbly wobbly, and you're like, I'm not a girl, I'm a force. I'm not a woman, I'm a tsunami, okay? I'm not just a femme little queer babe, I am a fucking natural disaster, and also somehow a miracle.
Some days I'm like, whatever. Other days I'm like, gender. But either way, you know, one label does not accurately capture my feelings about my gender and also my experiences and how I move throughout the world. And then for, you know, my sexuality, I have bisexual, queer, and pansexual. So yeah, that's really helpful. And I think especially for an app that is specifically tailored to and for queer people, I think, you know, this is a place where I feel safe, like sharing all of those labels. Whereas when I'm just like walking around out and about, I'm not going around sharing all my labels. But here on this app, you know, I want to give that extra information. And then more basics, single, 5'8", my height. And then things I'm looking for. Right now I just have something casual, new friends, not sure yet. And again, it's so nice to be able to pick multiple things. It's just a good encapsulation of my life stage. And then I have my zodiac sign, Aquarius. And then under lifestyle, I have liberal, agnostic, dogs, and have kids. And I think for politics, their choices are liberal, conservative, or not political. So those are kind of the three choices that you have to work with on that. And then this part is kind of interesting. They have these like pride pins that you can add. Some of them are like love languages, some of them are gender or sexuality related, and then some are like values related. So I don't know, there's a lot more that I could add there, but I thought 6 was enough for myself. And then I really like the prompts that they have. So the ones I have for now, current obsession, West Coast swing dance, I'm totally addicted. And then it has like a little interests thing, coffee, creativity, music, outdoors, TV. Again, I could probably add so many more to that, but that felt like enough for now. This one's a little spicy, but top, bottom, or switch. And I said, I'm a bottom by default. I'm like, I feel like I should be whispering this or lowering my voice. I'm a bottom by default, but I aspire to be a switch. Want to help me practice my skills with a little mischievous emoji. Moving right along, because I'm starting to blush. My type, I don't have one. Humans are adorable with one of those emojis with the hearts around it. But I'm especially drawn to kind dog lovers with dorky senses of humor. And you know, the longer that I am out and about and meeting people, the more that is just so true. I don't have a type. I have such a wide range of attraction. And kind dog lovers with a dorky sense of humor, I'm especially drawn to. And then the very last prompt that I responded to, introvert or extrovert, and I said shy extrovert here. I love being around people, but I tend to be a little reserved at first, with a purple heart. And you know, I think if I remember correctly, that prompt is actually from last year. Some of these prompts are new. I have updated my profile a couple times since I have gotten on the app over a year ago. But I think that one I responded to quite a while ago, and I'm not exactly sure if it's always true about me anymore. I am becoming more outgoing, which is like a goal of mine. I do still struggle with a lot of social anxiety, but I am practicing being social more and more in different settings. And yeah, with the person that I met up with today, I was nervous, like definitely I was a little nervous, but it wasn't as scary as it would have been in the past. And I asked a lot of questions and I shared a lot, but also not in an oversharing way. I really was able to kind of check in with myself, you know, as the time that we were spending together was progressing. I was able to see like, I want to be authentic in this moment and I want to be vulnerable and like share certain things about myself so that this person can get to know me and we can connect. But at the same time, like I really didn't overshare out of, you know, like a fear of being rejected down the road or like sharing out of obligation or I don't know, some other weird rule in my head. So yeah, that was a win. And so I think that is starting to change a little bit. So I may have to update that prompt sometime soon. My phone just saved my screen recording without me even asking it to. So my phone is like, wrap it up, we're done. So I think this is a good place to end the video. I hope that helps give you an overview of her. If anyone, you know, any fellow queer folks are watching who are looking for, you know, a good dating app to try for dates or for friends, I highly recommend checking out her. And I'm just gonna be an advocate for reading people's profiles. I think people should read profiles more. That's just me, but yeah, I'm grateful that her exists. I'm grateful for the experiences that I've had on it so far. And I'm grateful for how just meeting up with that new friend today just helped me feel less alone and just like reminded me that community is possible. Community is out there. And like queer community is out there. Like it exists. We're here. We're here. We're queer. Cheesy, but true. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, please feel free to comment a sunflower emoji down below. I've seen some other YouTubers do that, and I think it's kind of cool. And if you have used the Her app, please feel free to share your experiences with it in the comments. I'm very curious because, you know, I really like Her, but I wonder what other people's experiences are with it. So yeah, let me know, and I look forward to reading those.